Here with Tank,
Hello.
a fitting name for a beast.
Thank you. Yeah.
And yeah, we were just chatting about psychedelics, so I wanted to get some more insight on you on your psychedelic journey. One thing I'd like to know is what drew you to mushrooms? What did you think they had to teach you?
Oh man, they taught me a lot. I mean, in my experience, I've had like, I don't know, say my first 3 trips I ever did was like 3 years ago, and the energy that was being released, say from my body, I couldn't necessarily pinpoint exactly what it was at the time, but any bad trip, I know through experience is like leaning into it, right? You got to lean into the bad stuff, because if you fight it, you're going to a bad place. So
It goes from bad to just horrific pretty quick.
yeah, absolutely, right? So leading into it, anyways, it's after those experiences that you reflect, and you can tell you don't necessarily have to attach that energy to anything. Just knowing that it's been released, and like maybe acknowledging that it was something that you shouldn't be holding on to anymore, man, that was pivotal for me.
You found them liberating.
Yes, absolutely. And within that, trips beyond that, after I think I got that like bad kind of muju juju out of my body, out of my
In
system.
the beginning, they were rough. You had some rough experiences.
Absolutely. And then you get to a point where maybe you're cleansed, right? I don't know what it is, but then, and then your heart and your mind are open to these more beautiful, like transcendent, like experiences, because there has been like times that, whatever you want to call it, astral projection, or man, just getting transported to another dimension, man, like it opens your eyes. I had a great fear of death. I had that typical like existential, like, where do we go when we die? And like through psychedelics, and I'll say mainly mushrooms, I have seen, or I have felt, where I believe we go. So I don't have that like debilitating,
The terror, the existential fear.
yeah, of what's out there, right? I have an idea now what's out there, I think. So that's given me a lot of peace within.
You feel more at peace with the the fact that this life ends, because you don't feel like the ending is the end. Did it show you that there's something just different that happens?
Yeah, different.
And I'm sure you can't explain what it is, but you get this sense of calmness, right? This feeling that it's peaceful.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel once, I don't know, man, that's part of our growth. That's part of like ascension, is like, whether or not we come back to this physical plane again is going to depend on the things that we learn and work on and grow from in this experience. And those people that are stuck in that, I don't want to say mindset, because trauma and pain, that can kind of like force you to be in a certain headspace and within your body even. But like being open to the idea that you can live a life of like trauma-free pain, it's possible. I say that, but I always kind of put this disclaimer in that my trauma I have is like very minimal. Like I have fat kid trauma. That's like the most of my trauma. That's the extent of it. But people also remind me trauma is trauma, right? Just because that's the only thing I experienced doesn't mean it didn't affect me in the same way that someone else's horrific trauma affected them, right? So, yeah, man, I think knowing and understanding that there is life out there beyond this pain that we're living in. And it's having the resilience and the dedication to yourself to get through those hard times. Because, man, there's been a lot of times where I've been like, why am I here, man? Like, why do I even bother, right? But through psychedelics, they have helped me. They've given me a vision of what to work towards.
I like that. I like that. It kind of sounds like working out in a sense. We both enjoy working out.
Yeah.
You have to have a vision of the body you want, and then you figure out the steps to get there.
Yeah.
But you can't figure out the steps to get there if you don't know what you want.
That's right.
So it gives you a vision of a goal to strive towards, and it makes it feel achievable, because you can have a vision and it can feel like it's too far out there to grasp.
It's very daunting.
Yeah, it's daunting. Did the psychedelics make that vision feel more, obtainable?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, at least giving you a glimpse of like, I mean, it can go both ways, right? Like I said, the bad trips, like they can give you a glimpse of what's maybe you don't even know is there. But again, leaning into it and being open and accepting of it and understanding that it can't hurt you anymore in the way that it did in the past, that's going to get you, it's going to help you get beyond that. I'm not a professional in trauma resolution and whatnot. I just know from my experience.
Just speaking anecdotally about your own experience.
Yes, exactly. And maybe someone else can apply the same kind of mindset or application to their psychedelic use, or even their healing. It doesn't have to be psychedelic based. Meditation, therapy, whatever, right? Psychedelics, I think, just spurred my spiritual awakening for sure, man. I've had more spiritual growth since I started psilocybin 3 or 4 years ago than my entire lifetime.
And have you ever tried traditional therapy?
I've done traditional therapy.
Talk therapy.
Yeah, I have.
Psychedelics were better. It's just lack of a better term, just better.
Absolutely.
More efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's no different than, like, I'll touch on MDMA real quick. Like, they're doing all that research right now with MDMA therapy.
Yeah, the PTSD.
Yeah, man. And like they're saying one counseling session with an MDMA assisted therapy is like 10 years of therapy, man. That's crazy.
I know. Do you know what it does? It allows them to bring up the trauma, think about it. Well, and the memories are attached to feelings, right?
Yeah.
So MDMA imbues you with such a warmth and just everything's okay in the world. So now you have those same thoughts that used to elicit terror and shame and fear, and you're attaching an acceptance to it.
Yeah.
So then your mind remembers that. Memories aren't these solid things. Our memories change. You know what I mean? Like, I can remember the same thing different ways all throughout my life, which kind of sketches you out. Is my memory really the truth? It's not. It's not.
Yeah, and I think that as our lens changes, maybe our lens, it reflects on those memories, right? Because you say they're changing. Maybe they're evolving to like a more accurate version. Because, say that shame attached to certain memories, as we overcome that shame, we can reflect back upon it and be like, oh, actually, I did this, and this there too as well, right? To be like, wow, like it can, there's a lot of layers to it, for sure.
There's a lot of layers, but I think it's very interesting how the therapy kind of bypasses a lot of the traditional methods that we think that someone has to do. Like it's very counterintuitive.
Like actual talk therapy?
Yeah, talk therapy is like you talk it out, you accept it, you move on from it, but it feels like there's some things that you just can't move on from.
Well, I think the thing about talk therapy too is like a lot of people don't realize or don't, because I don't think a therapist really tells you this, and my belief is when you go into therapy, you should go in there, they're the one person in your life that you have to be 100% truthful with.
Which is hard, even with a therapist.
Absolutely it is, because look at how we deal with our friends and our family, and I mean, 99% of the truth is there, say, and there's always that 1% maybe that isn't. So like with a therapist though, for them to do their job like proficiently, they need all the accurate information.
Which brings us to this video's sponsor, Merrick Health. In order for you to properly assess if if you're feeling like there's something wrong with you, men's hormone levels, specifically men's testosterone levels, are down significantly from 50 years ago. Who knows if it's a byproduct from things in the plastic, lifestyle? I really don't know and I can't speculate, but I do know that if you are feeling like something is off, getting your blood drawn and having a doctor accurately assess your hormone levels is probably the first step in seeing if perhaps you need to go on something like hormone replacement therapy, which is what Merrick Health is. Merrick Health will do a full assessment of not just your hormone levels, but everything that's going on in the blood. And if you want an accurate depiction on, just some of your unhealthy habits and how even substances have negatively affected you, the first place to look is in the blood. After having my coach from Merrick Health check my blood, I learned that there was a lot of things in my life that were damaging to me. Particularly, I was drinking way too much alcohol, which was damaging my liver. And of course, you guys know that I've been on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy I'm getting stuffed animals falling on me, for the past 4 years now. And it honestly has really helped me in a lot of ways. Just from a pure aesthetic standpoint, it allowed my facial hair to finally grow in. I felt like I was just a child that never kind of grew up. My voice was high. I didn't have a beard. After going on TRT and finally getting my testosterone levels to a place where they are now in the normal range for an adult, it helped my mood, my sense of self-worth, it helped my confidence. And I cannot say if testosterone replacement therapy is right for you. I also can't say that if you go on this, you are going to look like Tank. But it will also increase the amount of muscle mass that you are carrying. As you can see, I now carry more muscle than I ever could naturally. And if you head on over to merrickhealth.com right now and use the code PsychSubstance, you are going to get a great 10% off. This is also my friend Derek from More Plates, More Dates. This is his health clinic. So if you want to support me and Derek, who has been so gracious and kind to sponsor some of these videos, head on over to Merrick Health. Again, cannot recommend that anybody does what I did. Cannot say you're going to look like me or Tank. But if you've got no energy, you're not getting morning wood, you feel like something is generally off, it doesn't hurt to just get your levels checked to see where you're at. Even if you choose to naturally increase your testosterone levels, just seeing where you're at can be very beneficial to your health. Anyway, let's get back into this video. Cheers.
So I think that's where sometimes traditional therapy can like fall to the
We're not even
wayside.
privileged to all the accurate information because we could be remembering things wrong, feeling things wrong. The psychedelics, I think, are more of a direct route, a direct approach. It's like a straight line that you go right to the problem and unveil it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's interesting how powerful they can be. I'm really happy to hear that they've helped you so much.
Yeah, they helped me quit drinking, man. Psilocybin kicked my alcohol addiction.
And you haven't drank in how long?
Well, I do drink. Like, I can have a drink here and there,
Yeah.
but it's not like before where it was like, oh, here we go, party, party.
You can control the drinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Before it was just like, I was one of those guys, man, all day, every day, you know? And I tell this story about...
But your liver, though, especially if you're on gear, like your liver's going to be toast.
But that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I quit 5 years ago. And because I've been on cycle, say 7 years, right? So yeah, the alcohol thing is a huge thing in my personal growth, right? Because alcohol is a depressant. We know that. And I honestly feel, man, someone living in that cloud of a buzz, alcohol being a depressant, whatnot. How is someone supposed to express gratitude in their life when they always have this like shaded veil of like misery and, you know, negativity, man? So I think that's why a lot of alcoholism is so I'll say painful, but also so has a big effect on those around us, right?
Because it brings the person down. Depressant, you know, even in the name, it depresses you. To depress something, it brings it down. And yeah, I like what you said about gratitude. Without gratitude...
I wholeheartedly believe it. Like, alcohol puts you in that, like, because why would you express gratitude when you're in this depressed state of like, my life fucking sucks?
You can't.
No.
I mean, you can, but you're not going to believe it. You could say the words, but it's not going to feel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I found on the days where I feel the shittiest, I just have to say what I'm grateful for, and it sounds so cliche and so stereotypical, but it works.
It does, man.
It works. It brings you up.
It does.
All right, we're going to keep chatting. I could talk to you for hours. I love your energy.
Yeah, no, thank
I was
you,
saying
man.
you're so warm. Give me a hug.
Yeah,
Thank you for this.
yeah, man, you too.
We will
Thank you.
definitely chat later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And any final words?
Thanks for coming to Wicked Woods, guys. Hope to see you here someday.
Awesome. Thank you, man.